Edge at 11 starts now.
Tonight on The Edge, the race for governor heats up. Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan campaigning alongside supporters from all across the state.
Duggan hoping to prove he can bridge divides in Lansing. Fox 2's Dave Kinchin joining us live from Michigan Central with more. Hi, Dave.
Hi there. You know, a lot of political observers say this independent campaign to be governor is a long shot, though 200 current and former elected officials from across the state in both parties apparently say they're challenging that notion with the event held here at Michigan Central Station in Corktown. Now, of course, Michigan Central Station is a symbol of Detroit's revival, serving as the backdrop here. And these officials were backing Mayor Duggan. Duggan said that the widespread endorsements, which also include support from a variety of faith leaders, serve as proof he can work with all sides to get things done. As there's noise happening around here, maybe the mayor could do something about that. Anyway, the lifelong Democrat turned independent candidate for governor says he believes voters are tired of Lansing dysfunction and politicians holding up good legislation just so the other side doesn't get the credit. I asked him about how he's going to deal with the slow progress currently taking place in a divided state government. This has been the slowest legislature in years. 9 bills passed so far. How do you get its act together? How do you actually get it done on day one if you're elected?
So when the election's over, if, as I hope, 40% of the people of Michigan vote to elect an independent, that is one strong message that they're fed up with politics as usual. And you'll see what happens in the fall of 26, which is if I have that kind of momentum, every single swing House and swing Senate seat is going to need my independent voters to vote for them. And so I think you will see leadership move to the middle in the fall of 26 if we continue this kind of momentum.
Well, of course, it's all about cash, money, ruling everything around politics, at least for getting the word out. And Mayor Duggan says actually he was the top fundraiser during the first half of the year, bringing in about $3.2 million. There's about $2 million on hand already at that point. Now, the fundraising continues and the big endorsements as well. The mayor picking up an early endorsement from the Detroit Regional Chamber. Perhaps not a surprise there given the hyper-locality of his campaign, but of course the big job is getting his name out across the state. Maybe that's a glimpse of the strategy we saw with all the local officials from around the state from both parties, many of them, 200 of them, backing him tonight. Dave Kinchin on The Edge.
Dave, he's certainly going to need that kind of reach. I mean, yes, everyone does know him here in Detroit, and even at a national level, people know the turnaround that he's been part of here. But, you know, in the other parts of the state, it's going to remain to be seen.
Yeah, it really is. A lot of people don't really know the Detroit story unless they come in town for a ball game or a concert or something like that. But really, Duggan is... he said he's been doing a fact-finding mission. The mayor of Port Austin up, I believe, in the Thumb area, said he was surprised to see the Detroit mayor there, but he came not to lecture as a big city politician, but to listen, to learn, to see how smaller towns are dealing with a lot of the big issues. So maybe that could be another part of the strategy.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's certainly what we saw him do in Detroit neighborhoods, go to a lot of listening sessions, visit a lot of living rooms, and looks like he's going to take that statewide. Thanks so much, Dave Kinchin. We appreciate you. And Ann Arbor police on the prowl for an alleged peeping Tom after a man's accused of looking into young women's bedrooms.
Now, police are warning the community, hoping to catch the suspect before he strikes again. Fox News' Dave Spencer is live with the latest on this. Dave, this is so disturbing.
Yeah, and police say it keeps happening, and the timing of this couldn't be worse. This as students are starting to make their way back to college campus. So this is happening in Ann Arbor, which obviously is super close to the University of Michigan. And here's what this guy is accused of doing. He's looking for homes where young women are typically known to stay, rent, or even at their dorms. Then he would look for the window and try to peer inside. Police say they want to catch this guy before he possibly escalates his behavior. Now, we had the chance to hop on campus and talk to some students as they were moving in. checking into their dorms for the first time for the semester here at the University of Michigan. We spoke with them, and they said some of them were aware that police were on the hunt for this person. They said they saw it on social media, that for the past 10 days, a peeping Tom, only described as a man with a medium build, wearing dark-colored clothing, had been peering into windows of up to 6 to 8 victims, all within 10 days. Police urging people to take extra cautions like close the blinds, turn on outdoor lights, move trash cans and other things that can be used to step upon to get a better vantage point inside a house. Students say this is a reality check. Even if they feel safe, there's always more that they could do.
As you move in, stay vigilant. If it doesn't look right, it's probably not. We are here 24/7. Call us. You can call the non-emergency line. Usually that'll be me or a sergeant that answers that. This is our job. Don't feel like you're burdening us with something small. Let us try to filter those things out.
This peeping Tom that's a little bit farther off.
I heard.
You heard about that. It just shows that it can happen anywhere, right?
Yeah, definitely. And my room is like ground level too, so my window is like basically the road.
My biggest concern moving in a daughter is safety.
Of course.
It's a great academic school. We're very excited she's here. But as a dad, you always, as any parent, that's the one thing we're always concerned about.
So as I mentioned, this happened 6 to 8 times within 10 days. The latest one happening 1:30 yesterday morning in the 500 block of Kingsley. That's 4 blocks away from the police station. I'm standing right outside the police station right now. That's just 4 blocks away. They say that this person is getting more and more brazen, and they're concerned. They also are spreading the message now, hoping to generate tips. They need people to check their cameras and see if they have any images of this guy. They say don't be afraid to give them a call. Even if you have something that you're not sure of, they'd rather check that off the list and make sure that that's not the case than be overwhelmed with too many tips. So don't hold it if you got it. Pass it on to the police. Reporting live in Ann Arbor, Dave Spencer on The Edge.
Yeah, give us an idea in terms of proximity, how far away this last Peeping Tom incident happened compared to where the dorm rooms are and some of those residential student housing complexes.
Yeah, as you might know, the city of Ann Arbor and the campus are all pretty much intertwined. So this is happening in the north ends of campus where there's a lot of student apartments that are for rent there. He definitely has an MO of targeting those people where they know that the students are going to be. And now, just a few blocks from there, that's where these dorms are. And that's where these unsuspecting freshmen that are excited to be on campus are also going to be. Police also want to make sure that people stay vigilant, you stay in groups, you're looking out for one another, and just be aware of your surroundings at all time. Better safe than sorry in this case.
Yeah, if this bad guy thinks he has his eyes on students, he better wait, because with all these people moving in, more eyes looking out for him, and hopefully they'll catch him soon. Dave Spencer for us live tonight. Thank you.
Let's hope so.
Gunfire erupts at a gathering after a funeral, leaving 1 person dead and 2 others wounded on Detroit's east side. It happened last night in the area of Moffat and Seneca. Police say a car pulled up, firing more than 100 shots. A man in his 30s was killed, and 2 others in their 20s were wounded. Police say the suspects got away in a burgundy Chrysler 300. Anyone with information is asked to call Detroit Police or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-SPEAK-UP.
Well, Michigan State Police are investigating after a Redford woman is shot while driving on I-96. It happened early Tuesday morning between Joy and West Chicago. Troopers were called to a McDonald's on Grand River, the one you see here, after the victim ran to the restaurant saying she'd been shot by someone in another vehicle. She was taken to a local hospital, is in now stable condition. Troopers searched 96 and reportedly found evidence of the shooting. Call Crime Stoppers if you have any information about what happened here.
Well, it's a digital and real-life nightmare for kids. Perverts preying on children on one of the most popular games out there. Roblox is accused of grooming kids, including a 10-year-old girl who sent nude photos to a grown man. Fox 2's Jessica Dupmack is following the newly filed lawsuit in this case. Jessica.
Yeah, if you hadn't heard of Roblox, we'll tell you what it is. It's a gaming platform, one of the more popular ones out there for your tablet, your phone, even your computer, and it's designed for children. It's a gaming platform, but part of the process on what you can do there is you can message anybody that is on this app, and there's 380 million users worldwide, and it has been facing some lawsuits recently. In one recent case, a 10-year-old girl from Oakland County was groomed by a man in his 40s, and he was pretending to be another child on there. It all escalated, and the two sent each other nude photos, and he continued to push for more. Now, the Dolman law firm representing in this case says they're filing 2 to 3 lawsuits a week against Roblox, and in some cases, the communication between children and the predators on there has led to rape cases, criminal cases. Now, a cybersecurity expert weighed in with some advice for parents. Easy is it to pretend to be a 12-year-old girl when you're a man in your 40s?
So given LLMs and ChatGPT and everything, it's not hard at all, would be my estimation.
And again, what would your advice be to parents if you could give them a few tips?
Just play games with your kids, like whatever they're interested in, also take an interest in that, spend some time with it, understand the technology, understand the language that they're using so that you can understand when there's a problem.
So we did talk to Roblox in the way of a statement. It said in part Roblox has implemented rigorous safeguards, including restrictions on sharing personal information, links, and user-to-user image sharing, and prohibiting sexual conversations. We also partner with law enforcement and leading child safety organizations worldwide to combat the sexual exploitation of children. And in the recent months, as they face these lawsuits, they've tightened up their security measures to prevent things like this from happening. Now, in the case of the local girl from Oakland County, the 10-year-old we told you about, there is an ongoing criminal investigation there, but no charges have been filed quite yet. Reporting live, Jessica Dupnack on The Edge.
Yeah, you got to ask yourself how rigorous those safeguards really are if all of these cases have been popping up. Is this a recent crackdown with the statement they gave you?
Yeah, it is. And these lawsuits recently popped up. You know how that goes. Once one settles for big money, a lot of other people jump onto that bandwagon. And that's what's happening. But it is forcing this company to rewrite some of their policy and procedure to protect these kids.
Yeah, and go old school and watch what your kids are doing on their phones as closely as you can, I guess, is another piece of advice. But you gave us some great perspective here tonight. Jessica Dupnack for us live. Thank you. A college baseball coach accused of assaulting one of his own players.
So the player claims that when he reported it, he was benched. A new lawsuit centers around Central Michigan pitching coach Aaron Hilt. He's accused of punching 18-year-old Dean Brown in the chest back in March. Dean reported the alleged incident, but Hilt reportedly never faced discipline. Dean was later benched and eventually suspended from the team.
Here's a great pitcher, right? But because he reported this incident that forced their hand to take the appropriate actions, we're going to punish you.
We reached out to CMU, but the university said it cannot comment on pending litigation.